Okay, what if I told you that you're only using a tiny fraction of your own home? And I'm not talking about the house you live in, I'm talking about your own body. Today, we're diving into the alchemical body, which is basically a manual for reclaiming all that vast, unexplored territory inside yourself. Right out of the gate, the source hits you with this wild claim. You are living in approximately 15% of your house. Now, that's a powerful metaphor, isn't it? It suggests that for most of us, the vast majority of our own being is just sitting there, dark and unexplored. So, why would someone even start a journey like this? Well, the authors argue that people don't just stumble into this kind of work. They're usually called to it, pulled in by some pretty powerful life experiences. Maybe for you, it's a chronic pain that doctors just can't seem to fix, and it's forcing you to finally ask what your body is trying to tell you. Or maybe you remember a moment of just pure joy, a feeling of being completely whole, and you do anything to find your way back to that. Or hey, maybe it's quieter than that. A life that looks great on the outside but just feels empty. A boredom that keeps whispering, come on, there's got to be more than this. Whatever the reason, it almost always leads back to this core idea of the uninhabited body. And this brings us to the very first and maybe the most important question in this entire practice. No, I'm serious. Take a second right now. If you had to physically point to where the feeling of you is inside your body, where would you point? The source argues that for most of us, that sense of self is located entirely above the neck. We live in the command center, right behind our eyes, operating our bodies like we're driving a car, but we're not actually in the car. The rest of this amazing vehicle, the chest, the gut, the legs, it's just silent, ignored territory. And that brings us right back to this number, 15%. This isn't just some vague feeling of being disconnected. It's a way of saying, hey, we're only occupying a tiny corner of our full selves. And you know what? This absence, it has a real cost. The source directly links the state of being occupied without being inhabited to so many of our modern problems. The body is sending out signals, pain, discomfort, fatigue, but the driver isn't listening. So what happens? The signals just get louder and louder. So how do we fix this? Well, here's the twist. The first step isn't about fixing anything. It's about learning to listen. It's about learning to speak the body's native language. See, the body speaks in sensation, pressure, heat, tingling, aches. The key here, the really crucial part, is to learn to experience these sensations as pure information, as raw data, before our mind jumps in and slaps a label on them like good or bad. It's just about feeling what's actually there. And here's a really practical way to start. Think of it like a walk through a home you haven't visited in years. You start in your head, right? That's the familiar room you're always in. Then you move your attention down into your chest, which is often kind of a guarded space. Then you drop into the belly, the seat of your intuition. From there, you visit the pelvis, a frontier for a lot of us. And finally, you feel your feet on the ground. You're not trying to change anything, you're just arriving. This simple act of noticing, it reveals the first big secret. Just bringing your curious, non-judgmental attention to a part of your body is, in itself, a transformative act. It's like your consciousness partners with your body's own intelligence, and together, they start the process of healing and coming back into balance. Okay, so once we've learned how to show up, the real work of transformation can begin. The source describes this using two ancient alchemical ideas, fire and water. These are two totally different but complementary ways of working with your body. First, you've got calcinatio, or the fire. These are the intense, active practices. Think of a really vigorous workout, holding a tough yoga pose, or doing some powerful breath work. The whole point is to generate heat, to meet your edge, and to metaphorically burn away all the stuff that isn't essential. It's a purification. And you can see the contrast so clearly here. The fire is all about intensity, effort, activation. That's the yang energy. But water is its perfect counterpart, dissolving, allowing, and yielding. That's the yin. And for a truly whole practice, you absolutely need both. And that brings us to solutio, the water. These are the receptive practices. Imagine long, slow stretches, or just floating in water, or taking deep, restorative breaths. Here, the change doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from softening, from letting go, which, let's be honest, can sometimes be even more challenging than all the effort in the world. So as we start to bring all of this together, it's really crucial to understand the right way to think about this work. This is not about finishing a project called I Fixed My Body. It's about fundamentally changing how you relate to yourself. I absolutely love this quote from the source. It just reframes everything, doesn't it? This isn't some problem that you solve and then you're done. It's a lifelong relationship that you are entering into with your own body, with your own deeper self. So what's the ultimate goal here? What's the so-called elixir? It's not some magic potion. The elixir is rediscovering your body's own deep wisdom. The source suggests your body has literally been waiting for you this whole time. Its intelligence already knows exactly how to heal. Our real job is just to get out of the way, show up, and finally truly listen. So we'll leave you with this one final thought. The manual, the guide, the most profound text you will ever get to study, you already have it. The only question is, are you willing to learn its language?